Hey guys, Steve here. Today we got to look at the new Tier 5 American Premium Battleship West Virginia. Billy Sims on the screen, Cunningham Shear. That's a build I've had in place for quite a while and see no reason to tinker with it. Also note the damage con in that second mod slot there. I've been experimenting with that module more and more. I've been basically putting it on all these premium battleships I've been getting lately, and I've been liking it quite a bit. So I'd stick with that, especially if you're frustrated with all the HE coming your way these days. This game is going to be, without a doubt, the lowest damage battleship game, like a tier 5 or higher battleship that you'll probably see on this channel currently for sure, maybe ever, but you'll see why. Accuracy, on the whole, quite accurate. Once in a while I pull the trigger and it kind of seems like George Dewey might have snuck away from his desk job and got behind the old sights.
Although George Dewey is forgotten today, in 1899 he was equivalent of a rock star.
George Dewey, a lot of success with the ladies, but I had to play with him as a battleship commander for 6 months. Dude cannot aim a main battery to save his life. Anyway, this game is kind of an ode to the battleship players. There's an old saying, I think it's from The Art of War from Mao Zedong. It says, I don't think I can shoot, or I don't think I can, it's a translation from Chinese. I don't think I can hit destroyers, ergo I don't shoot at them. This is kind of a refutation of that philosophy. This game, we're going to be taking a lot of cross-map shots at destroyers. We're going to be popping them left and right. That's why we're going to have a low damage game here. It's not going to be a massive score, but I mean, we're just going to be demonstrating, number one, the accuracy of the ship, number two, the fact that if you learn how to aim against destroyers, you definitely can hit them. I'm going to do a quick rundown of the stats here as we position West Virginia, comparing it to the other three battleships, Tier 5 American battleships. Lowest HP pool, 51.8, as you can see here. Compare that to California on the high end, 59.9. Torpedo belt, tied with Arizona, 37. The other two have 40. 4x2, 406s on this puppy. So same diameter guns as Colorado, Iowa, and Alabama. Usually how they deal with that concept in this game is if they're putting, your higher caliber guns or diameter, or whatever they're called, in lower tiers, they give them like different versions of the shells. I'm saying that in air quotes because this is all numbers programmers plug into it, but for the sake of the game, it's considered an older version of the shell, essentially. And they're somehow less effective. I haven't played enough of this ship to really get a good feel for it. I mean, this is an early impressions video. If you're new to the channel, I usually play about 10 games, then do a review just for those of you that are looking for early intel on the ship. I haven't noticed any problems with the shells. In fact, I've had some odd results here and there, like I had a ricochet and a broadside Congo one game, which was a little bizarre, but I probably hit him at like a weird angle, the turret or something that you wouldn't be able to account for. But you get a lot of rippers with this thing. We'll see one pretty good shot in this. I've one shot, not a full health Fuso, but I've got a Deb strike on him, so I think it was like a 2/3 health Fuso. I've had some massive salvos with this thing. So you see a West Virginia out there, you better not be sitting there broadside, because if it doesn't get a bunch of overpens, if it hits the Citadel, you will die pretty quickly. You can see here we didn't use the spotter plane, but this probably would have been he gone if we did there. But we've already turned around to defend the base. Why is that? Well, because our 2 destroyer corps on the east, the defensive flank, where we need to slow down the advance, they rushed forward and then both got torped right off the bat. So we've turned around. We're going to the base. We're going to be trying to alert our team. Not obnoxiously, I'm not slamming on the radio here, but we're going to periodically note for those playing along with us that defending the base is the priority. We're going to have one ship back here that helps us, but the rest of them, no such luck. Anyway, getting back to the stats, very slow. It's comparable to the other ones, 18.9 top speed, turn radius 670, rudder shift 14.4, it's the same deal. Just don't get out of position with these things. If you go off to a flank and you don't plan 5 minutes ahead with where you're moving, then you're very likely going to find yourself in a lot of games where half the game you're not shooting at someone because you just can't possibly keep up with what's going on. So focus on your positioning, damage output outstanding. Like all American battleships, take the HE out of there. People on the blue team, I'm looking at you because that's usually where you see these guys spamming HE nonstop. I'm not saying don't ever shoot HE, and we probably will this game, given all the shots we take at destroyers. But for the most part, you'd be shooting AP in this thing if you're doing it correctly. Anyway, what are we doing here? We're trying to slow down the advance. Now you can see this guy gets a little frustrating for me. That guidey on my team that was spotting in the middle, I didn't have a problem with that. But if you're running for your life like this guy is, come back towards your teammates here. I'm willing to help this guy. Not only is he not coming towards me so I can easily support him, but he's not even shooting the dude that is chasing him. Like, we're going to pop this Icarus and the hot neck that's trailing behind him multiple times each, trying to keep these destroyers alive, because they're not going to keep themselves alive, guys. You got to help them. Trust me, they're trying to kill themselves, all right? I've seen it time and time again today. These destroyers... Side note, I saw a game where 4 destroyers on my team were all on the same grid on the map for the entire, the same square for the entirety of the match. I've never seen anything like it. Anyway, come back towards your team if you're trying to run for your life. I see that all the time. Doesn't matter if you're a destroyer or cruiser or whatever. People are pinging, I need help, and then they're sailing away from the support. It's like, yo, I'm over here. Anyway, we do need to go back to the base. How a fault line works is the south side of the map on the eastern side needs to defend, because you have 6 ships to the north of you. They're going to push aggressively through if they know what they're doing. You can see they've already wiped out our side over here. Meanwhile, what usually happens is all the blue team clumps up on the western side of the map, and they'll eventually try and make it into the base. I think we probably win on cap this game. I can't remember exactly right. But this is one of the few examples where they actually have enough time to get all the way around that western side into the base and then create enough success with it. I think they end up killing the last ship, but it's irrelevant to the point I'm making. In general, the northern side can get on our cap much quicker than we can get on their cap with the normal routes, just because their center spawn usually comes down here. Our center spawn usually goes all the way around the west and then all the way up. Congo here, I was holding for a kill shot. Pop the plane. He angles in, yeah, but we get 1 shell out of that. I was hoping for like 50k one shot on that guy. That was looking beautiful. And here we're pinging the map. That's beautiful. This we've basically been asking for since day one. This is one of those quality of life things that they're working on. But very useful here. Yeah, the destroyer is grayed out in this instance, so people that are looking at it might notice him anyways. But pinging that map, that's a great way. Even if the destroyer is not spotted, you can say, I think he's over there. That'll at least get your teammates hopefully thinking about that. I would mainly use that ping for destroyer-related stuff, but once in a while there's going to be interesting options as well, other circumstances where it would be appropriate. But in general, it's like World of Tanks where you'd ping the light tanks, suspected position. Same thing here, only destroyers. Fubuki pops up here now. He's shooting at my support ship, which is very low. If you notice, he's about to die. So I'm trying to get the shots off as quick as possible here, because we don't want to lose spot of this guy. Yes, he is shooting, and yes, he just left his smoke. So he's going to get permanently spotted here. But we want to basically get rid of him as quick as possible. We can also expect torpedoes. Now, this thing with the maneuverability that it has, dodging torpedoes might not be the main thing. There I'm spamming like a madman because I'm basically assuming I was going to die there until we saw the spread and we realized we're just going to take one. I thought I was going to die, and usually when I die, that's when the team throws the game, and you can see there basically no one's in position to come back here. Now, if they get a reset on our guy and I die, and this dude's on the base when they hit the reset, we lose because nobody's down here to defend the base. So if you want to try and win by capturing the base, usually have 1 ship on your team try and do that. Maybe 2 at the most. So the guy that's actually capping has a little bit of support. The rest of you guys defend your base, because you are going to lose way more games trying to cap than you're actually going to win by capping. Okay, let that sink in. You're going to lose more games. That wasn't hyperbolic. You're going to lose more games by trying to cap than you're actually going to win by successfully capping the game. So defending the base, capture the base mode, that needs to be the focus. Just just a quick recap on this thing. Yes, this wasn't a barn burner in terms of damage, but we were blasting destroyers. It was such a great opportunity. I want to inspire the people that don't have confidence in themselves to hit those destroyers. You will never get good at it if you don't start practicing. So I don't care if you just started playing the game 2 hours ago or a year and a half ago. If you're not comfortable with your ability as a player to shoot those destroyers, practice, okay? Everyone on your team needs to shoot those guys when they're spotted. That's how you win games. When people are nervous about doing that, that's how you lose games. Rundown on the West Virginia, though. I actually like this quite a bit. I mean, the maneuverability is your typical Tier 5 American Battleship maneuverability. Yeah, we get it. It's like that all the way up and down the line through the Colorado. But once you get to Tier 7, of course, you get more mobile ships. So that part should be familiar. I think it's a pretty beginner-friendly ship. I think American battleships are usually what I would recommend for new players. So if you're a new player, you're interested in getting a premium battleship, perhaps, this might be a good option for you. Again, just don't be one of those players on my team that only plays HE the entire match, because that's how you help throw the game, doing that. But the AP is wicked. The HE is actually fine in the rare instances where you'd actually want to be using it. 36% fire chance, which is why I'm a little nervous about this one, because people are going to look at that and be like, wow, that's high. I'm going to only shoot HE. Don't do that. Shoot only AP. Anyway, that's a look at the West Virginia for you guys. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots of World of Warships coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave them below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And we'll see you all later. Peace.